story begins about 2 weeks ago. I was out driving Scarlet, having fun. In fact, I was filming for the channel at the time. I'd just finished making the 5 Things I Hate video. I was heading home and, well, unfortunately Scarlet decided that her clutch, she no longer liked it. So anytime you put the car into first, second or reverse, there was a bit of a crunching noise. Now I thought, oh, insert profanity, what am I going to do? So I looked online, seen that apparently it could have been the throw-out bearing, and I thought, right, she needs a new clutch. That's going to be costly. And I had already purchased a new exhaust for Scarlet, thinking, oh god. Well, cat back just now, let's not get ahead of ourselves. So I was sitting thinking, right, what am I going to do? Should I do the job myself, or should I put her in and have the job done for me? Now, ordinarily, I would always like to try and do the jobs that need to be done on Scarlet myself. I would always want to try and do that, because what else would be the point in having this channel if I don't try to do things, see how they go, and then obviously it's all videoed and put up online for posterity for the future of how not to do a job. Well, I put it on my Facebook page, group thing, whatever it is. Yeah, my Facebook page. I put it on there and I got a reply from Mr. Phil Work. Hi Phil, hope you're well. And what I said on Facebook was, should I or should I not do this myself? And well, when Phil speaks, I listen. And he suggested that it would be a good idea to put Scarlet in and have the clutch done. So this was, like I say, 2 weeks ago. I phoned up the garage a couple of days after that, found out how much it would cost. Thought, that seems reasonable. And then I went and looked up the clutch kit and thought, yeah, to heck with it. Let's just get it put in, get it done now. I know that's a cop-out, I understand that, I get that. Before anyone says it, I feel like I have failed. It gets worse though, but we'll get to that in a minute. Yeah, I get it. You know, there are some jobs I feel though that should be farmed out, and that's one of them. Doing the clutch, definitely. What the guy said to me in the garage was, yeah, you really needed a ramp. Again, there's more to this story. We'll get to that eventually. But yeah. So, fast forward a week. Scarlet's booked in for a clutch replace on the Monday. So the weekend before that, I decided, right, I'm going to do the rocker cover gasket and I'm going to fit the exhaust before she goes in. And I thought, right, we'll do the rocker cover first, because that'll be the easy job, and then the exhaust will be the really difficult job. As it turned out, the rocker cover took about 4 hours to do in total. I know the video that I've put up is only like 20 minutes long, but trust me, there's a lot of editing in that. It took about 4 hours due to the snapped bolt. Painful. So yeah, once that was done, I thought, right, sod it. By this point it was late in the day. I thought, I'll do the exhaust tomorrow and then the car can go in for her new clutch on the Monday. Happy days. Sunday rolled around, and well, there is really only one way to describe this. It starts off badly, it gets worse, and well, maybe it's best to just show you what happened. During one of my long evenings sitting, pondering things about this car, I recently discovered that according to the history that came with Scarlet, that I own a Cobalt exhaust system. Catback, obviously. Now, I happen to know that this exhaust is not a Cobalt one. So I don't know what part of it is Cobalt. Potentially the mid-pipe, but you know, that's not good, really, let's be honest. we need to sort that. That's a Cobalt exhaust. Let's fit it. Now that was all good and well. I did the introduction, did everything we needed to do, got Scarlet jacked up, got ready to go, filmed underneath the car, all that, yep. And then I went to start doing the bolts. Now, I'm only going to show you 2 short clips here, and trust me, I'm saving you about 2 hours of footage that I actually filmed. And the reason it was 2 hours of footage that I filmed was because I plunked the camera down and forgot about it after things went from bad to worse. So yeah, roll it. If this comes apart, I'll be fucking amazed. All this just to get one effing bolt out. I genuinely believed this would be the work of, you know, half an hour. It's not. And there you have it. That is how it all went. Horribly wrong. Horribly wrong. So, I thought to myself, I think I started the attempted exhaust swap at about 12 o'clock, and I gave up at about 3 o'clock. I literally chucked in the towel and I thought, right, idea. I will, when I drop off Scarlet tomorrow, I will say to the garage, any chance you could change that over for me while you're at it, because I believe in order to get the gearbox out, you're probably going to have to drop off the exhaust anyway. So when in Rome and all that, any chance you could throw that on for me? Now, there was a bit of, we don't fit customers' parts and all that. Yeah, I understand that, but you know, I know what we're talking about. It's the right part for the car. And again, much props to the garage. Obviously, I'm not going to name them or that, but if the guys that worked on Scarlet see this, thank you. Because I know how hard she is to work on. And I feel as if I'm justified in the fact that Scarlet went in. Because here's how it gets even worse, believe it or not. So I dropped Scarlet off on the Monday morning and said, look, can you also fit, you know, the exhaust on for me and that, a bit of back and forth, and then, but yeah, leave it with us, we'll see what we can do. So I tottered off for the day thinking, yeah, I'll get Scarlet back by, you know, the end of the day. No. Thinking, you know, clutch, swap the clutch over, thing on the back box, jobs are good, and yeah, should take, you know, about a day normally you would think you would get the car back. No. It turns out that Scarlet went up on the ramp quite early on the Monday, and she didn't come off the ramp until after lunchtime on Tuesday. Now, I mean, I understand that it's a clutch job, it's going to take time and all that, but this just this makes me feel happy to some extent, because I was right not to do the job. Now, yes, I want to learn and do as much as I can on Scarlet. That's fine and dandy, right? Really is, genuinely. Working on parts of the engine and all that, yeah, I'm all in and about that because easily accessible, etc. The clutch, not a hope would I have been able to do the job. As it's turned out, I was showing it. Now, I thought it would just be the throw-out bearing that's went on Scarlet. It turns out the pressure plate was extremely badly worn. I think it says something about the actual plate, it's on top of the plate, the bit that sits on top of that was also heavily scored. The throw-out bearing was fucked. I'm not going to bleep that. because there's no other word for it, that really is a technical term. The whole clutch assembly was fucked. I don't know how long it had been on Scarlet for anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, I'd looked through all the paperwork and everything, nothing. Couldn't see anything about a clutch change at any point, so I thought, well, okay, so I've done it, I now know when it was done, and if anything goes wrong with it again, I've only got myself to blame. So, yeah, but that's not the end of the story. Oh, no. As much as I feel I was right not to do the clutch, it also turns out that it was right that I ended up not doing the exhaust, because as you've seen, I attacked one bolt and it took 3 hours to do that one bolt. Well, realistically speaking, they actually had to drop the entire exhaust system off of Scarlet in order to fit the back box. And in doing so, they discovered that the threads for the manifold were heavily corroded and that all the bolts were seized. And it was the same with the clutch. So what I was told by the garage was, obviously, don't feel too bad about this, because, again, what you needed was a ramp, a lot of heat, and many other tools that, obviously, I didn't have. So, yeah, all in all, it's all fixed. Touch wood, it's all done. There is a few niggly things with the exhaust. Don't worry, we will get to that. But, unbelievably, I feel guilty because I never done the work. I mean, I've paid for the work, but I feel guilty I haven't done it. However, on the other side, I mean, I got Scarlet back a few days ago, and this is the first day I'm properly getting out to drive her. I can't stop laughing at that exhaust. It's mad. It's really mad, and I'll demonstrate it in a minute. But yeah, it's just an update, a confessional, if you like, this video. Unfortunately, yes, she had a problem with the clutch. Rather than drive her, I kind of kept her sitting in the drive and thought, right, now's the time to start doing a few of the wee odd jobs that need doing, and then drive her again a bit before, you know, the winter hits properly. Yeah. It's just unfortunately one of those things. I'm not sure when the clutch went, when it was last changed, but yeah, there was quite a lot wrong with it. I think the flywheel as well, there was something wrong with that. The whole thing was goosed. It had it, point blank. Anyway, on to the good news. We have a new exhaust, and it's a Cobalt exhaust. Now, I'm going to upload a separate video that is purely just the exhaust noise, because this is going to be quite a long, drawn out affair, this video. So there will be a separate video that I'll upload probably either on the same day or the day after this video goes out. That is literally just the exhaust noise, a quick drive, and that's it. However, a bit of a pre-exclusive before I end the video today. Shall we go for a drive? I imagine you'll want to hear the before and after. I'll put it in now. Sounds good, right? All right, let's go. She's a hooligan. Do you know what the worst thing? The worst thing about this is that I was actually contemplating straight piping this. Oh no. Not doing that now. There is a slight drone on the exhaust, I will be honest. I mean, to get to where we are today, which is back at Campsie Fells, there's a 360 video of this whole region from earlier on this year if you want to check it out. There has been a bit of a slight drone from the exhaust on the motorway, but I suppose that's to be expected. The biggest problem the other hand, is that, well, I've only really driven Scarlet properly today, and I have been through a few sleepy towns. Now, I'm all for pops and bangs, a little bit of crackle and rattle and all that sort of stuff. I mean, I do think you can get to a point where it's too much, and it can be used on the wrong type of car. For example, people who put it on a 1.2 litre Polo or something like that. I am not judging you, fair enough, but sorry, wait. Jesus. Yeah, I'm not judging you, but you know, if you had a car like this, I could understand it. But when you're driving around with that, I just think, you know. And personally speaking, I don't go in for it. It's not really my bag. However, with that being said, having to drive through a few leafy little towns in this car to get here, well, yeah, the exhaust is a lot louder. Oh, I feel like a yaw. I don't care. I understand now, I do understand. No. That's only 25 miles an hour. The only way to shut this car up is to turn it off. That's literally it now. Yeah, the fact that you've got to go through towns now, and I mean, I can demonstrate it, right? So 30 miles an hour for a if I even drop down to thirds, there's no getting away from it. Scarlet's now a hooligan. I've got to admit, but I'm hooked on that sound. It's so much better than the whatever that was on originally. If you own an MX-5, trust me, do yourself a favour and get a Cobalt back box. There is that slight drone on a motorway, but I mean, to be honest, it doesn't matter. I think it will be something that you just become used to straight away. But as soon as you plant your foot in the right gear, the noise is insatiable. It really is. It's absolutely insane. And that's not the end of it for us either, because at some point in the future, I was told while Scarlet was in the garage that there is a slight exhaust leak coming from round about the cat, which, no shock there really. I knew about that last year when they put gum on it. So at some point, it has always been the plan anyway, that I will remove the cast manifold and replace it with something a bit more delicious. Now, the choices are either an MX-5 parts stainless steel one, which costs about 300 quid. Oh, what's that? Or we go the whole hog and we get Scarlet the Cobalt 1.8 litre tuned manifold. Now, this is a topic for another day that will be coming up on the channel, actually, a question that was asked on the blowing gasket sessions, but there's a specific route I want to go down for power delivery in the future for Scarlet. We'll get to that at a later date. But yeah, which manifold will I go for? I don't know. Will I even go for one? Because, well, am I going to turbo her? Am I going to supercharge her? What are we doing? We'll come up with a plan at some point, but right now, I don't know. 30 limit, 30 limit, 30 limit, we're in a town, calm down. pick this up, but when I lift off, slight burble, and there's a bit of vibration still coming from the exhaust that I need to sort. Sorry this video is all over the place, but I can't help that, I'm excited. This is the first proper thing this year that's went on Scarlet that is actually something that was planned. How bad is that? How bad is that? It's September. I sat down at the end of December 2020, went through the whole costs and everything and thought, right, here's sort of what a rough plan for next year is. We've done none of it. None of it. One thing I did say, however, in December, well, listen to that. One thing, sorry, I'm so sorry. This is not professional. I don't care. I'm not on the TV, God's sake. Yeah. One thing I did say when she went through for her MOT last year was, if she manages to pass, I'm going to buy the new back box. It's taken till September, but you know, I really hope that microphone's picking this up. Do you know what? Fuck it, that'll do it for today. Tomorrow there'll be some arty-farty video up of the actual Cobalt exhaust itself, some stuff I've already filmed. Hopefully it'll look good.